Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, BritDad Reacts. I've got a new video for you, which is the top 20 funniest countdown fails. I think you're going to like this one. Make sure you keep watching towards the end because there's some really funny parts in it. Hilarious moments when some of the words that come up. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what gems are going to come out on this one. But let's put it on and see what comes up, and let me know down in the comments as to which one of them you think is your funniest. You're going to enjoy them.
Alan? Perverts.
Yes.
Anything to add?
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the most outlandish or
and of course with the lovely Rachel Reeve.
We'll be including bloopers and
Rachel
some
Riley.
clips that are just silly and funny moments. Number 20, Naughty Susie. Susie Dent is perhaps the most reliably composed member of the Countdown team, but even she's prone to saying some rather rude things from time to time. Take this episode for example, where she sat next to her ex-husband, Paul Atkins. The gang were making light conversation, and that's when Susie said something that can be very easily misinterpreted.
Are you worried about what he might do?
Today, I'm always worried, but I do have a kind of sneak preview down here. It looks good.
Okay.
Well, the magic.
Susie took a moment to realise what she'd just implied and was left red in the face.
I think we should start the show, don't you? Here's our first round. This is a letters round.
No worries, Susie. Happens to the best of us. Number 19, pork trait. Okay, this one was pretty weird from the get-go. With it being National Sausage Week, the team received a peculiar gift.
The British Sausage Appreciation Society have made something for you. Take a look at this. It is your very own pork rate.
Okay, very weird already, but hey, it's just wholesome fun. Rachel Riley went on to express her appreciation for the gift and then let an odd line slip.
I like a good sausage.
She does.
It took a second,
Can't
but
argue with
everyone
that.
in the audience suddenly realised what she just said. Thankfully, Jeff Stelling was able to
Helps
make
that
the
she's attractive
save,
as well.
but even his comments came across as rather lewd.
You look good enough to eat usually, Rachel, anyway, and you certainly do there.
Number 18, wardrobe malfunction. Rachel Riley has been known for her fantastic outfits throughout her countdown
course she
run,
has.
so much so that there's even compilations uploaded to YouTube for some reason. However,
Wonder
it's
why.
not always perfect, as proved in this episode of the show. Something went wrong, as when Rachel went to write on the board, we could clearly see that her dress had split apart at the back.
The week is 7, 8, 6, 9, 2, and a large one, 50.
Yeah, considering how bad some wardrobe malfunctions
I was
can be,
expecting
this
something a lot
isn't
worse
so
than that
bad.
wardrobe
But still,
malfunction.
it was quite humorous to know she was the only one who didn't realise there was a problem. Number 17, uncomfortable feud. Tabloids across Britain were gossiping about a certain feud brewing on the set of Countdown, and those involved really didn't try to hide it.
She's not the cuddliest person in the world, but it's just a different show now.
Anne Robinson's run on Countdown was a mixed bag for some, but even so, it was hard to watch the friction between her and Rachel Riley. Though they denied their
Rachel's
dislike
still
for one
there, so it
another
just
was a
tells you
real
all,
thing,
doesn't
it was painfully obvious that they weren't getting along by how they
Oh, she's
answered back
preggers.
at each other on multiple occasions.
Big old baby.
He's a maths teacher, Rachel.
Well, still, there's a lot more pressure, and there's a lot more to maths than just timesing numbers together.
We actually breathed a sigh of relief when they were no longer on set at the same time. Awkward.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
Number 16, our first rude word. Alright, we know why you're here. And trust us, there will be plenty more on this list. Let's get on with our first naughty word to appear on the letters board. Rachel could clearly tell where this was going, and you can almost see her hoping another S doesn't show up.
Consonant.
Another S.
But it did.
What are you laughing at? E.
Somehow, the contestant continuing to call for his letters in a completely stoic voice makes this moment all the funnier. Dearie me.
Thought you were taking the Mickey.
Number 15, how rude.
Any other eights about?
Yeah, we had another 8. We had genitals.
Look, even if you're trying to win,
Genitals.
for the sake of dignity, maybe you shouldn't take the low road. After all, you don't want to be remembered as being the person who said that word on Countdown.
Well, Diane?
7.
Toby?
6.
Well, it didn't bother this contestant, who jumped in with a 7-letter word, which made
Go
the
on.
group blush.
Spines down.
Penises.
Yep.
Was it worth the points? We certainly hope so, as even Susie couldn't resist giggling at the results.
Yes, can't argue with that. All we've got is another 7, which is infuses.
Number 14, that's not supposed to be there. We all know the rules to the Countdown letters round, it barely needs explaining. The contestant calls for whether they want a vowel, A-E-I-O-U, or a consonant.
S,
A vowel,
E,
a consonant.
X,
Well, something odd happened here when a guest called for a consonant. A vowel was in the box instead.
D,
Consonant,
L,
consonant.
And lastly, E.
Okay, simple production mistake, right? But weirdly enough, no one questions it.
And your 30 seconds starts now.
Bing, 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 bing,
They
bing.
just kind of accepted it and proceeded with the round. Aren't they supposed to be experts? Number 13, from bad to worse. Alright, let's get another naughty word in there. This one's a bit of a throwback to when Carol Vorderman was in charge of the numbers and letters, and she certainly had a rough time here. You could hear a pin drop when the contestant called for the next letter to be put on after a P and an O.
Vowel.
And wouldn't you know it, it was another O. Rough. But it could hardly get worse, right? Wrong.
Consonant, please.
The next letter happened to be an F. Maybe they should have asked for a reshuffle. Number 12, too old for that.
We have all the Dicks, actually, because the Dick here is real name is Richard, and the Richard Whiteley, and then the Richard Stilgo. So a real trio of Dicks.
We all know a large part of the
Trio
Countdown
of
audience
dicks.
is elderly, and we do expect a certain degree of class from them when they compete on the show. That's not what happened here though, as these two elderly gentlemen showed themselves up. As the word round came to a head, the first fellow threw in a relatively rude word.
Okay, Hamish, what's yours?
Gropes.
That was followed by a considerably more rude one.
And Bob?
It's rather appropriate, isn't it? Orgies.
Group snorges.
They certainly weren't doing much to combat the dirty old man trope here.
Got anything other than gropes or
Definitely dirty
orgies
old
over
man.
there?
Number 11, sports. Even the most innocent of things sound dodgy from time to time. Jeff Stelling once again managed to bring out the worst in Rachel in this episode, when he opened with a discussion on sports.
You might not guess this, but under the table here, I've got my leg warmers and trainers on.
He was making light-hearted conversation, asking if she went to the gym and such, and she just had to put her foot in it as usual.
Do you work out?
I play squash. I prefer team sports or sports with balls. And oh, that sounds wrong.
She instantly went red and was at a loss for what to say next.
Always lowering the tone, isn't she?
It
why
was
she ended up
once again
pregnant.
up to Jeff to get things back on track. Number 10, whoops. Next is another relatively tame one.
5 times 2 is 10.
5 times 2 is 10.
Oh no, I've gone wrong actually, sorry.
The numbers game was already off to an odd start when both contestants failed to get the number 361. Of course, it was up to Rachel Riley to show them up as usual, only this happened.
Times 7 is 28. And then 100 minus 28 is 72.
The crisis seemed to have been averted as Rachel mopped the floor with the question, but then it only got worse.
Oh, it's falling apart.
361.
Let's upgrade to digital, shall we? Number 9, it's written
Oh,
down.
whiteboard.
We all get a little nervous or overly excited sometimes. Once again in the numbers round, our contestants actually get pretty close this time. David suggests that he figured out the answer correctly, but when he tries to read it out...
Times 4... Oh, sorry, 7... I've written it down. Oh, 7 times 4...
28.
No, sorry, 8...
He's getting a bit
plus 3 times 8. It's written down.
Unfortunately, Nick is left no choice but to refuse his answer as he moves swiftly to the next contestant. What makes this clip even more uncomfortable is how ticked off David looks after the whole ordeal, like he's ready to flip over the table.
Well done, Rachel. Well done. Well done.
Number 8, we're all thinking it.
Oh, Val, please, Rachel.
Thank you, Charles. A.
As has become abundantly clear on this list, it's pretty commonplace for a rude word to pop up on Countdown here and there. But what about the naughty word? Well, we came pretty close on this episode during the letters round, where a few connected letters you might recognise popped up next to one another.
Consonant.
K.
The contestants were very gentlemanly about it, but the look on our host's face says it all.
Nothing more than those 5s, were there?
Fortunately, Susie swooped in with another word that got our minds off it.
And dog face as well, which is not an insult, but it's an old-fashioned term.
Number 7, the worst letters round.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Sean.
Could I have a consonant, please?
You're always at the mercy of the deck, as the letters were pulled...
I don't know what it is. I mean, they pick between vowels and consonants, and they just pull up random letters, but they pull up words that are rude words. Now, I'm sure there's somebody there like slotting them in those slots, ready for those words to come up, knowing they're going to come up. It's almost a bit too random for it to be the way it is, or maybe it is, I don't know. But I think it's hilarious, some of the words that come up.
Even Rachel was getting concerned for how the contestants would handle this one.
And a consonant, please.
And good luck. J.
Unsurprisingly, they were unable to come out with anything significant. But then came another problem. Sean's word was apparently made up.
Avium.
How are you spelling that?
A-V-I-U-M.
An avium. I can't see avium actually there as a head word, I'm afraid, Sean.
Okay, no worries.
The dismal 3-letter word jam somehow managed to win the round, but then Rachel shocked us when she came up with this.
That's very unusual to win a round with 3.
Yeah.
Number 6, the worst numbers round. To succeed on this show, you need genius-level intellect, though maybe not in this case.
3, 8, and 50. And the target to get... Oh, there's no point. 500.
When the numbers are placed, we get quite possibly the easiest question in the show's history. Rachel's exasperation says it all.
Now, let's see if either of them have managed this. Raheel?
I think 500.
Jamie?
Yeah, about a second to spare, but 500. Yeah.
While the contestants did get a good laugh out of it, this is one instance where we could have skipped the formalities and gotten right into the next round.
Take the 50 and
Yeah.
then times it by 10.
I think I can do that in my head now. Yeah, well done.
Number 5, not hard enough.
Well, Matty.
Yeah, 700.
All right, Johnson.
Yeah, 700.
Rachel Riley's head must be stuck in the gutter after all those appearances on 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. But even so, this one was poorly worded. After a numbers round concludes with a particularly easy question and answer, Nick Hewer comes out with this.
Poor old Rachel, she's gagging for a hard one.
The naughty accidental innuendo set the whole team off laughing.
Yeah, but she is.
Nick doesn't seem to
I
get it
think so.
himself. Poor Rachel was left red-faced.
Disgrace, how good's it?
Number 4, a brave contestant.
She's used to it.
We've brought this up before, but there's often a word that's on everyone's mind, but neither contestant has the guts to step in. Cue David.
And a final consonant.
And a final, oh, good, N.
When a certain self-pleasurer insult was clearly on the board, he just out and says it like an absolute chad.
I've got a 6.
OK, what's yours, Dave?
Of course, his opponent had to be a goody two-shoes and come up with something else. But in our opinion, Dave should have got extra points for sheer intestinal fortitude.
It's a mighty difficult seat to be in, isn't it?
That's right, we're calling this fail a win. Number 3, itchy trigger finger. We've all been there. You're so confident you've got the question right away, only to find out that, well, you miscalculated. Poor Jimmy experienced this on live TV. Though you can see the moment he pressed the buzzer, he instantly regretted it.
Jimmy.
No, I thought it was bulk line, but...
This left plenty of time for his opponent to take the round with style.
Yes, Peter.
Unlikable.
Let's take a look.
Jimmy may have won the game in dominant fashion, but this was probably all he remembered from the competition. Number 2, very forward. Always keep in mind how your outfit will look on set.
Rachel?
Joyriding.
Joyriding. Let's have a look. Yes, it is.
Knowing that the countdown set was purple back in the day, including the chairs, this contestant somehow ended up wearing the same shade. After she won the round and was invited back on the show, Des O'Connor commented on this by saying,
And of course, Rachel, you'll be back with us on Monday, wearing a different colour, so we see a little more of you there. No, that's not the right thing to say.
Yeah, that came out very wrong, but his heart was in the right place, right?
Am I blushing?
Number 1, poor Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
Hi, Chris.
Can I have a consonant, please?
You can indeed, thank you. Start with S.
Rachel Riley has the hardest job in the world.
And here's the
Not
one
only
we've
does
been
she have
waiting
to
for.
accidentally spell out rude words, but she's got to stand there with a brave face too, and become many a YouTube thumbnail in the process.
Sluts.
The consonant.
T.
Okay.
One of the toughest ones
she
had to
though?
have been when this word was revealed.
Let's speed this along.
As always, she just soldiers on as the rest of us are belly laughing. Bless her cotton socks.
Brilliant. Here's the clock.
Which show should we cover next? Let us know in those comments below.
Farting.
Really?
Well, guys, as I promised, that video didn't disappoint. As I said at the very end of it, there was going to be quite a funny one that you were looking forward to. But gotta say, Rachel Riley, you are not a slut. But it was quite amusing seeing it anyway. Anyway, hope you all like this video. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know which of those top 20 you actually thought were the best. Make sure you come back for the next one. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And see you in the next video. Right, see you later, guys.